Senator Rounds, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, gentlemen, thank you very much for your service to our country. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for what you've been doing to make sure that the B-21 bomber program stays on time, on target. Folks in western South Dakota, Ellsworth Air Force Base, are truly looking forward to getting their first look at it, hopefully later on this year. And they most certainly want to be a part of the program, and they want to make sure that they're in a position to welcome the new crews and the new teams on board, and appreciate your cooperation and working with them to make sure that they know what to expect in terms of schools and so forth. And I'm sure we'll be able to work through all of that to make sure there's no delays in that. The B-21 seems to be an example of a platform plan which is working according to schedule. When I look back at some of the other challenges that we have, it would seem that while we're going to be able to procure the B-21s in some reasonable fashion, we're probably going to need more than what we had originally estimated. General Brown, would you talk a little bit about what the expectations are for the B-21? And I think originally we talked about a plan in which we would buy perhaps 100 of them. Would it be fair to say that in any of the new estimates, with near-peer competition growing, that our demand for that particular platform will be greater than what we originally anticipated?
Well, Senator, part of that is the ongoing analysis that we do to determine not only what we've already decided on, but where we might need to, in this case, procure either more B-21s or other capabilities to complement the B-21. And this is one of the operational imperatives that we are working through to actually look at a crewed and uncrewed collaborative platform that can work very closely with the B-21. So it may not meet necessarily an increased number of B-21s, but it's additional capability to go with the B-21 as well.
I think it'd be fair to say that right now, if we had the F-22 is a good example of a platform in which we started out with one number that we wanted. Today, I think there are very few of us that would say that we have enough F-22s that are mission capable, because even though you have a number of them, a portion of them are always either being repaired or being used for training. So fair to say that even though we talk about 100 B-21s, what we're really talking about is some of them would be in maintenance, some of them would be for training. So we really wouldn't have that many which would be on mission. Fair to, or would you agree with me to that? We'll
always have some that are in training or in some type of maintenance. The goal here as we look at this particular program is, as you described, it's on track, and I think one of the key areas we want to take a look at is how we do a better job to make sure we're sustaining that aircraft and make it very easy, much easier for our airmen to maintain as well.
Thank you.
To increase aircraft availability.
Secretary Kendall, this budget, this proposal this year plans for the elimination of about, or the divestment of about 250 aircraft, but it looks like we're only going to be able to procure about 87 new aircraft. Granted, there is, at least from what I can see, first of all, some of the aircraft are just flat out, they're hangar queens. They're on the inventory list, but they're really not operational, and the cost to maintain them, even to get them out, is such that it's really not worth the taxpayers' dollars to try to continue to make them operational. But that also means then that we're going to end up with a shortfall with regard to the number of platforms we can put in the air. Fair to say that we're trying to do as many new platforms as we possibly can. What is the holdup the budget, or is the holdup the inability of our manufacturing teams to be able to produce the number of new aircraft that we need?
We're trying to get the balance right and try to sustain our support to combatant commanders, give them what they need while we go through this transition. So that's essentially what we try to do in the budget. What we're taking out includes a mix of systems. About 100 of them are MQ-9s, which are actually not coming out. They're transferring to another government agency. We're taking out trainers, the T-1, which is our multi-engine trainer. And what we're going to do is do something that's more like the commercial airlines, where pilots are going down the multi-engine path, will go directly from their primary trainer to the aircraft that they're going to actually operate. So we'll actually have some efficiency in the pilot production line because of that. In the case of the F-22, we're taking out our oldest and least capable F-22s, about 33 of them. And they're only used for training right now. So we can use more combat-capable aircraft for training and have those aircraft available for contingency if we needed them in an emergency, but to have some efficiencies as well in terms of operating costs. So it's a mix of things that we're trying to do. Some of it is simply divesting to replace, as in the case of the tankers, for example.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, my time has expired. Thank you.